World Wide Web Consortium. World Wide Web Consortium, or W3C, is a vendor-neutral organization, created in 1994, that develops common, interoperable protocols for the World Wide Web. W3C's primary activity is to develop protocols and guidelines that ensure long-term growth for the web. W3C Standards define key parts of what makes the World Wide Web work. Represented by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in the United States, and a number of international research centers, the World Wide Web Consortium provides a variety of services to its member organizations, including the following: discussion groups and meetings on issues relating to the evolution of the World Wide Web, repositories of information, reference documents, and code relating to WWW protocols, services, and applications, the creation and testing of applications that demonstrate new types of WWW technologies. The director of the W3C is Tim Berners-Lee, the creator of the World Wide Web. Membership in the W3C is tailored to organizations, but individuals can become affiliate members for an annual fee. For additional information about the World Wide Web, you can subscribe to the World Wide Web Journal produced by O'Reilly & Associates. Principles of W3C Consortium. Web for all. The social value of the web is that it enables human communication, commerce, and opportunities to share knowledge. One of W3C's primary goals is to make these benefits available to all people, whatever their hardware, software, network infrastructure, native language, culture, geographical location, or physical or mental ability. Web on everything. The number of different kinds of devices that can access the web has grown immensely. Mobile phones, smartphones, personal digital assistants, interactive television systems, voice response systems, kiosks, and even certain domestic appliances can all access the web. W3C's vision. Web for rich interaction. The web was invented as a communications tool intended to allow anyone, anywhere to share information. For many years, the web was a read-only tool for many. Blogs and wikis brought more authors to the web, and social networking emerged from the flourishing market for content and personalized web experiences. W3C Standards have supported this evolution, thanks to strong architecture and design principles. Web of data and services. Some people view the web as a giant repository of linked data, while others as a giant set of services that exchange messages. The two views are complementary, and which to use often depends on the application. Web of trust. The web transformed the way we communicate with each other. In doing so, it has also modified the nature of our social relationships. People now meet on the web and carry out commercial and personal relationships, in some cases, without ever meeting in person. W3C recognizes that trust is a social phenomenon, but technology design can foster trust and confidence. As more activity moves online, it will become even more important to support complex interactions among parties around the globe. W3C Standards. W3C follows processes that promote the development of high-quality standards, based on the consensus of the community. Input to the W3C Standards process may come from a variety of places, including W3C workshops, incubator groups, member submissions, team submissions. The W3C standard formation process is defined within the W3C process document, outlining 4 maturity levels, through which each new standard, or recommendation, must progress. Working draft. After enough content has been gathered from editor drafts and discussion, it may be published as a working draft for review by the community. A working draft document is the first form of a standard that is publicly available. Commentary by virtually anyone is accepted, though no promises are made with regard to action on any particular element commented upon. At this stage, the standard document may have significant differences from its final form. As such, anyone who implements working draft standards should be ready to significantly modify their implementations as the standard matures. Candidate recommendation. A candidate recommendation is a version of a standard that is more mature than the working draft. At this point, the group responsible for the standard is satisfied that the standard meets its goal. The purpose of the candidate recommendation is to elicit aid from the development community as to how implementable the standard is. The standard document may change further, but at this point, significant features are mostly decided. The design of those features can still change due to feedback from implementers. Proposed recommendation. A proposed recommendation is the version of a standard that has passed the prior two levels. The users of the standard provide input. At this stage, the document is submitted to the W3C Advisory Council for final approval. While this step is important, it rarely causes any significant changes to a standard as it passes to the next phase. W3C recommendation. This is the most mature stage of development. At this point, the standard has undergone extensive review and testing under both theoretical and practical conditions. The standard is now endorsed by the W3C, indicating its readiness for deployment to the public and encouraging more widespread support among implementers and authors. Recommendations can sometimes be implemented incorrectly, partially, or not at all, but many standards define 2 or more levels of conformance that developers must follow if they wish to label their product as W3C compliant. Later revisions. A recommendation may be updated or extended by separately published, non-technical errata or editor drafts until sufficient substantial edits accumulate for producing a new edition or level of the recommendation. Additionally, the W3C publishes various kinds of informative notes, which are to be used as references. Certification. Unlike the ISOC and other international standards bodies, the W3C does not have a certification program. The W3C has decided, for now, that it is not suitable to start such a program, owing to the risk of creating more drawbacks for the community than benefits. History of W3C Consortium. In 1989, Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web. He coined the term World Wide Web, wrote the first World Wide Web server, HTTPD, and the first client program, a browser and editor, World Wide Web, in October 1990. He wrote the first version of the hypertext markup language, the document formatting language, with the capability for hypertext links, that became the primary publishing format for the web. His initial specifications for URIs, HTTP, and HTML, were refined and discussed in larger circles, as web technology spread. In October 1994, Tim Berners-Lee founded the World Wide Web Consortium, at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Laboratory for Computer Science, in collaboration with CERN, where the web originated, with support from DARPA and the European Commission. In April 1995, INRIA became the first European W3C host, followed by Keio University of Japan and Asia in 1996. In 2003, the European Research Consortium in Informatics and Mathematics took over the role of European W3C host from INRIA. In 2013, W3C announced Beihang University as the fourth host. W3C Standards examples. The W3C standards are all around us, every time we use our computer or our mobile phone. HTML and CSS are probably the most important. But there are many examples, like XML, DOM, or SGV. See the link in the description to see the W3C HTML standard. If you want to learn more about networking concepts and definitions, don't forget to press the subscribe button. To be notified when our channel releases another video, click also on the bell icon. And don't forget to visit our website, networkencyclopedia.com.